Okay, part two of my ranting and raving from the diary of a griever named John Weaver, which is me. It's still Friday the 6th of February, 2026, and it's about 10 minutes before 4 in the evening here, West Coast time. So we're talking about electioneering, we're talking about ICE agents, and we're talking about how I feel about the United States and how it feels about everybody else these days. The Olympics are right now on. People are supporting the athletes, and people are not supporting the federal government here at all, or its actions. Threats of sending ICE agents over to Italy to protect our troops is telling them to back off, assholes. We're coming in. We're an empire. And everyone else is saying, no, boo. They booed the vice president and his lady at the opening ceremonies. I barely heard the boos, but I was reading the remarks on that one and seeing it on the independent channels. Got me pissed off to a point where I didn't want to put up any bicentennial stuff because I'm so pissed off with my country. I'm pissed off and wanting to tell the government system to go fuck itself. Trump and his regime wants to change the voting a great deal to make sure that he cheats his way into another office term. He cheats people left and right to keep Republican Party in there all the time. And fuck everybody. And some of the lower courts and other people are protesting and saying, no, you can't do this shit. Trump cannot interfere legally, but he's going to say fuck you anyway. He cannot interfere with the local elections, as in, well, probably not influencing them left and right, but he's trying to steal ballot boxes to continue his reign of power and fear and everything. But when it comes down for putting ICE agents as security, or electioneering officers, shall I call them, they have no jurisdiction over the states doing this, according to the Constitution. But since when did ICE ever follow the courts or even the Constitution? I was trying to show you guys on your own maps of your own locations. If you know where there's a location place, look at it, put a marker on it. Then do a distance, or if you want to know how much of a distance or how much time it's going to take from you to like 100 yards away or 100 feet away from your voting place. Somewhere your map app should be able to calculate this. I don't know what you're using. I'm using Google Maps. And for an example, I was looking at my own town of Roseman, California, looking at a library we have on 35th Street West and Roseman Boulevard. Going across the street at Dollar General will be nearly 100 feet. Maybe a little bit more than 100 feet, but that would give it a buffer. Because that's one of our polling places we have. There's another one on the east side I was going to be looking at. But the library would be the main one for most of the town, since most of the town's on the west side of town. But we still have some people on the east side of town. So with a senior center, let me see. Now let's just say if I get this thing cleared off. I want... Okay. Let me get this. I want to get directions. I want to get directions. But not my location. No. I don't want a location on that one. What I want is to get back to where the senior center was. Okay, so let's just say I'm at the senior center. Alright, I'm at the senior center. I want to know location to, let's see, about 100 foot. What would be 100 foot? Well, if I'm going, let's see, it's on 20th and Orange Street. And it's also on Dixie Street. So let me see, about 100 foot. I want... Add destination. Let's get this damn thing out. Alright, so what do we want? Senior Center to the other side. Okay, so we're doing on Dixie Street. 266 foot. Okay, so basically we're talking about halfway in the parking lot. Okay, that's facing north. Across the street, up 20th would be the 100, well, more than 100. No, less than that. Couldn't do that one. East side. Yeah, the kids are going crazy at this point. So, where would I have it at? Let me see. Alright, what do we got? 420 foot. So, I want to see what 100 foot is. So, head on the destination. I want the corner. 322. So, where would it be? I'm always going to get out of this one. Let's see. Okay, do it in the 30 foot. Well, from the door, or from the facility itself, there's usually a 100-foot barrier. There's a 100-foot distance. So surrounding the area, you can't do any electioneering. But you also can't do security over there unless you're a sheriff's department or if you are the federal government. But the federal government cannot get in there and start asking for your ID because that's illegal according to state law. Now the federal, they're going to be haranguing people left and right. But at that point, if we do have law enforcement over there, we can say, look, they're doing electioneering. They are interfering in my election and my ability to vote because he wants to know everything about me. I don't want this. It's against state law. You cannot do it. You got to charge him. I will press charges. I will press charges. Pressing charges. That's going to be problematic, isn't it, on a federal agent? But that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. So, that's what I got to start thinking about anyway. What's going to be against, what's not going to be against. Said before, I can go to a mailbox and put it in there, no problem. And have mail go out. I can vote. I can vote whatever I want, whatever election I want. But Trump wants to interfere with the mail-in because he doesn't want the results. He doesn't want to see the earlier results of him losing power left and right. That's why he's using the fear of God and using the fear of the federal government against people. This is the tyranny that we have fought a long time ago. We didn't want an outside entity telling us how to vote for what either. But we were not getting represented correctly overseas in England. We were getting charged up the yin-yang. We were getting overrun by the troops and our liberties being curtailed. We didn't have any liberties. We didn't have like a shit. We said we had enough. We rebelled. We did a Declaration of Independence telling the King of England knock the shit off or otherwise. We gave him an ultimatum. In a way, in different forms and fashion, we are giving the federal government an ultimatum. Knock the shit off. And what he's doing is throwing the troops at us. You can argue about it. You can try to say it's not true. It's happening all over, and this is the thing we're living through. Imagine what they were going through in the Revolutionary War that we had to fight against England, and it'll be a long, drawn-out war, take out many homes, take out many people's lives. The Civil War was no difference, except we were fighting among ourselves. We were fighting among ourselves. So maybe 200 years later, we're fighting another civil war against our own government, doing a brutal dictatorship that we as a people have never said we have to accept responsibility, transparency, and accountability. We created this monster back in 2016. He was already there. We just gave him the power. And now he wanted more of it, and he's going nuts over the damn shit. This is what we're dealing with, guys. This is what we're dealing with. Now, I don't know how you're going to vote. I don't know. What are you going to be doing? Trump's going to get cursed out one way or another. You can curse his ass all you like. I do it myself. But the one thing I have to do is understand what we're dealing with. They're going to be talking about on MSNBC, or MS Now, about FBI summoning the Secretaries of State. I got to listen to that one.